Hello, how you guys doing? Figured we in the week, excuse me, I can talk. We'll end the week with a little bit of rage, and then we'll maybe calm down with a little bit of Minecraft. That sound good with y'all? I know that like I'm probably streaming Minecraft too much, but I played it a little bit today without y'all. I like the new Town and Nor format. I did too. I did ping. I did ping. No, I did. Didn't I? I didn't hit at everyone. Damn it. Okay, I didn't. All right, yeah, I'm hoping that format works going forward. I'm gonna try and figure out when the charity that Mike's running is, and that way I cannot conflict with it. But I'm not trying to gaslight you. I'm gaslighting myself. We're doing AITA. I'm gonna call it that for the next 30 seconds or so. I'm tired of reading ones about weddings, so I'm gonna skip this first one. This one about toast seems amazing. Cause like, what are you doing? What is this? This is a dumb argument. It's been bugging me. So I, a 20-year-old female, decided to get up one morning and make my boyfriend, 23, breakfast because he was feeling sleepy and I was hungry. I made eggs and toast and coffee while he slept, and I brought it to him in bed. Adorable. He thanked me and then asked if I could get him jam from the kitchen for his toast. This kind of annoyed me because I literally did everything else. So I told him he could get his own jam. We kind of argued about this for a little until we decided to just leave it and eat our food. After we finished, I brought our dishes to the kitchen. I asked him if I just throw away the pieces of toast that he left on the plate, and he said yes if I wasn't going to get him his jam. So I threw it away. Then he got mad at me, saying that I should have gotten him jam since I was in the kitchen, and that I make our relationship too transactional. Am I the asshole? I should probably mention we eat all our meals in bed because my brother lives in the living room, small apartment. I don't have a dining room table. I should have clarified that my boyfriend doesn't live with me. I live with my brother. Can't you set a dark theme? There's the dark theme. There you go. And let me go and turn it on this one as well, so that way it does it for here on out. Absolutely amazing. Incomprehensible decision making by the boyfriend. Okay, I don't feel like asking like, hey, would you mind getting me some jam as well, is like egregious to the point of arguing. If she feels like that strongly about it, then it's like, okay, I'm sorry, I overstepped my bounds. That's my bad. I'll go and get the jam myself. Thank you for cooking me breakfast. You start with thank you for cooking me breakfast. Am I the asshole for not tier 3 subbing to RevScarecrow on Twitch? You're an asshole for subscribing to me at all. I feel like that there's more going on under the surface than this, because why does he just randomly say that she makes everything too transactional? That's really weird. That's a weird freaking take, man. You are the asshole. Why would you make a choice to serve him and then bed, and then give him breakfast in bed, then expect him to get out of bed to get jam? At that point, why make him breakfast in bed in the first place? To me, it's illogical to decide to try to treat someone to breakfast in bed, then tell them to leave their bed to go get something. It's kind of where I'm at. Isn't the point of serving breakfast in bed to make it so the receiving party doesn't have to get out of bed? I think it would have been reasonable to say expect him to do the dishes after breakfast since you made the food. It sounds like you tried for a nice gesture but ended up half-assing it. Okay, that's a little much. Like offering to someone to mow your lawn. Like someone offering to mow your lawn, then leaving the bags of grass around in your driveway. Like, yeah, it's nice that the lawn was mowed, but it's odd that they didn't. Okay, that's a little like much, man. OP hadn't made her edit when I first commented. With the new information, I would say everyone sucks here. The caveat that the boyfriend was most in the wrong. This puts the whole thing in the same... I mean, like... Okay, so the idea of... them always eating food in bed? Like... I think, like, me and the wife do that about half the time. We have, like, a kitchen table. It's very small. We have to kind of like plunk it in the corner, but like we can. But sometimes it's just easier to just like eat out in the living room or eat in the bed or like whatever. And she'll make me like breakfast in bed every now and then. I generally try not to wake her. And I don't know how you get the okay, real talk. How the fuck do you get the timing on that right? Because like you got to make it right. But like, okay, so like average day, my wife wakes up at 7:37, somewhere in that region, to leave the house at about 8, right? So on the weekend, she's not going to be, and then she doesn't eat breakfast in the morning because she's just running out the door, right? So when the fuck am I supposed to make breakfast so that way I can treat my wife? Because she's going to sleep in on the weekend, right? Assuming the cats let her. Because the alarm for me to feed the cats goes off at 8. So, like, when am I supposed to start breakfast in order to make this happen? Because I want this to happen, because I love my wife, and we have a pancake or a waffle maker that's, like, pretty straightforward. So, like, maybe I started at 7:30, and then I shoo her back to bed until she goes back to bed. The little waffle maker we have is, like, quite literally very small. I forget if they're heart-shaped. I think they're heart-shaped. They're shaped waffles, very small, like this big. Like this is the size of the thing that cooks it. It's like tiny. Each waffle is like small. Not like smaller than an Eggo waffle. It is what matters. Sure. I kind of want to say that everyone sucks here. I kind of agree with the take that, like, she tried to do something nice and then, like, got upset that he wanted the logical next step. I don't understand. I don't understand I mean, they eat all their meals in bed, but it definitely sounds like... But I don't think you're an asshole for throwing away the toast. Like, this is just, like, he's so petty. I don't know. I would say everyone sucks here. Knowing that they eat all their meals in bed does change things quite a bit. Everyone reacted badly to everyone else's, like, fairly reasonable take. She got upset that... No, it was because she would have to go and get the jam. And she didn't expect that. But it's... She already had made him breakfast, but he just wanted jam with the toast. And then she made a thing out of it. And then he decided to be... Like, he decided to level up and be more of a dick. And it just, like, I don't know. Everyone rolled out of the bag on the wrong side here. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Am I the asshole for telling my coach to stay in his lane? My son's basketball coach is something of a mentor to him. I have no problem with this, as kids need a variety of good adult influences. However, we had a disagreement, and I'm not sure if he overstepped or if I was too harsh. When I went to pick up my son, we'll call him Bobby, he asked to talk to me. We stepped aside, and he started talking about how 13 is a difficult age for kids to go through awkward phases, and it's very disjointed speech. I wasn't sure what he was trying to tell me. I asked if something happened at practice. He said no, but Bobby told me how he got in trouble the other day. It's okay to give kids grace for their mistakes. I was beyond confused and annoyed. I asked him if he was telling me how to raise my son. He said, well, it takes a village. You know, it takes a village to raise a child, is the saying. I was angry. I wanted to tell him that no one who wasn't in the room when he was conceived gets to say how Bubby was raised, but that seemed extreme, so I swallowed it swallowed what I wanted to say. I told him that I appreciated his concern for Bobby, but it would be best if he kept his advice to sports related, because he isn't a member of our family and he's not really in his place to weigh in on my parenting choices. He was obviously hurt and offended, but agreed. He just said he wanted to help. I walked away, and on the way home, Bobby was telling about all the fun he had practice, and I started to feel guilty. His coach really cares about the kids. Maybe I shouldn't have snapped at him for being a little overzealous. Was I the asshole? Like, I would say not the asshole. I feel like it's, like, reasonable to set boundaries. Like, he definitely did back it down, or she definitely did. Wait, he or she? I'm going to assume she, because they were in the room when the baby was there, and that's, I mean, definitely Bobby's mom was. I would say not the asshole, and especially because she did back it down. She didn't, like, go to, like, the, like, you weren't there, get the fuck out. Oh, when he was conceived. Okay, no, that takes two to tango. Not when she was giving birth. Okay, so it could have been. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But, yeah, I would say that they're not the asshole, regardless. If sometimes sticking up for your boundaries feels like shit. Am I the asshole for ruining my friend's birthday dinner by refusing to go into a restaurant? Oh, and chat or Reddit says yes. Okay. I'm super allergic to legumes. Same. Beans, peanuts, peas, etc. Soy is also a legume. It's genetically related to peanuts. My friend invited me and some of his other friends, close friends from a friend group, to go out to dinner for her birthday after we had our fun. When it came to decide which restaurant to go to, she wanted to go to a Thai place. They cook with a lot of beans. It's really dangerous for me to eat there. And I really wanted to change place. Everyone else wanted to go and asked me if I could just not eat, or they would pick up something else on the way for me to eat. I asked them why they couldn't change the restaurant so we could all eat together, and they all agreed that since it's her birthday, we should go where she wanted, and we didn't have the restaurant planned in advance, so I refused, and we all went somewhere else instead. Birthday girl seemed really unhappy, and I felt bad. Was I in the wrong? She knew I had allergies beforehand, and they are life-threatening. Like, as someone who has this exact same situation having come up before, I remember at TMG one year, me and the other Vinesauce people went to go to a place to get food, and we went to an Asian place, and the people there, they were it's like right across the street from the convention center, if you've been there. I think it's good. It might be good. I don't know. There was a language barrier to some degree, and I was rightly concerned, I feel like, that there could be soy in it. So I just ate rice instead. I just ordered a bowl of rice, and that's it. Wouldn't it be dangerous for this person to even enter the restaurant? The thing is, you can't just expect that there's not going to be an issue with the language barrier. There's also a issue where, like, what if they don't realize that, like, the soy they use to, like, start the grilling process on the meat or the vegetables or whatever is also going to affect him? You know what? You're right. He's an asshole for having allergies. Why is he an asshole, according to Reddit? I mean, it is her day, so you could dip out or even do the thing like they said. It's a little awkward, but, you know, as someone with allergies, you know, I've been there, done that. I had to, like, get something else. Dying from an allergic reaction is a skill issue. You're the asshole. She invited you as her birthday dinner. If you couldn't go to the restaurant that she ended up picking, then you explain and leave. You don't kick up a fuss and make the whole... Yeah, I mean, honestly, that. Why invite everyone you know that, yeah, I mean, yes, exactly this. Yeah, honestly, this whole conversation, like, yeah, honestly, I think he's an asshole. There's a better way of handling that. Like, yeah, you have an allergy. I have the same allergy. You could have done that better. Will I be the asshole for actively trying to prevent my neighbors from parking in front of my home? I would say no. Throw away just because I don't want this to be tied to my main. Okay, you formatted that weird. You made it seem like both you and your boyfriend are 26-year-old females. Okay. We have recently moved into a nice home located on a riverside. We have no neighbors in front of us, only to the side and behind. Our neighbor to our right lives in a triplex. 3 families, 1 roof. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? Oh, I'm so glad, Puma. I'm glad you liked it. A few weeks ago, one of my neighbor's friends started to park in front of our house. We didn't know it was them until my boyfriend, who knows one of the girls living in the triplex, asked them if they knew who the unknown large black truck belonged to. I didn't think much of it until the car was parked there day after day. The boyfriend asked them to move their vehicle upon my request. It was becoming an eyesore, and frankly, I find it rude that they're parking in front of our home in the first place. Okay, hold up. They moved the large truck only to be replaced a few days later with 2 sedans now taking up the entirety of our front, one even blocking our mailbox now. My boyfriend said due to property easement, I can't even legally make them move. He originally, back with the black truck, told them that they can park in front of our recycling bin off to the side of our property. That would basically be parked half on our side and half on theirs under the electrical post. They moved our recycling bin forward now near the post, and they are parking right in front of our doorway with the other behind. Okay, like, how are you the asshole? I mean, we're only halfway done, so here's where the asshole comes in, I guess. At this point, I'm mad, and I'm just thinking about saying fuck it and buy a bunch of bushes and planting them around the property line so they can't park there anymore. My boyfriend has already asked them not to park there, but they said that if they're choosing to ignore him, that's out of his hands. He also doesn't understand why I'm getting so worked up about it, and says I'm being dumb. Okay, that's a weird thing for your boyfriend to say. My biggest issues are I find it incredibly rude to park in front of someone else's property. I didn't buy Riverside property just to stare at my neighbor's cars all day. Would I be an asshole if I were to actively trying to prevent my neighbors from parking in front of my home despite the whole property easement law? What the fuck are you talking? What is property easement? I don't know what this means. It's a common courtesy not to park in front of someone else. What is this? Easement is a pervasive element in Texas property law. I mean, I guess in Virginia as well, as defined by the right, privilege, or advantage that exists as a distinct interest from owner's rights in real property. Most commonly, an easement allows a person to use the land of another in a certain manner. What? The easement width shall be within 24 feet in Texas. It shall be fully the width of the adjoining properties fronting the roadway. So, like, the space directly in front of your lot is only yours up to the first, like it blurs out at the 24-foot mark. Why not just put something there, like your own car, until they fuck off? Sort of like if you share a driveway, I guess. Here, let me do a diagram. As far as I understand what they're talking about. All right, so OP's house, neighbor's triplex. Where whatever the fuck a triplex is. So you got the driveway, and you got like this side alley where the light poles are, right? And then you got like the driveway here. And you got your mailbox here, right? And then the water is out here somewhere, I guess. So that way you can kind of look out to it. And then the neighbor's drive will be like here. But you can also park in this area here, right? Can you actually see my mouse? I have no idea. You can. Good. All right. All right. So I think what's happening is that there's not enough driveway space for 3 people to live in this house. And so they're parking their car. This person is parking their car here in front of the mailbox. I think. Does that make sense? But the property line is right here, and 24 feet is like to here or something. So it's like within the legal limits of where they're allowed to park. Like, but simultaneously, OP could also park within 24 feet of that line as well. The 24 feet goes out away toward, so it's like this, not this? Well, then you definitely have, oh, okay, I see. So this is like shared space up to about here. I would just, I mean, like, honestly, like, putting bushes there seems like it just fucks you up, too. Unless if you're able to actually park your car in the driveway. But, like, if you put bushes here, yeah, that would, why are they an asshole for this? What? If it makes a difference, I live in Virginia. We have a 72-hour parking limitation here. If I wanted to I'd call the cops after 3 days and treat their car like an abandoned vehicle. I know I'd be the asshole if I did that, so I'd like to avoid that. I mean, yeah, you would be the asshole if you call the cops. You're always going to be, yeah. This is something you can deal with another. Why, okay, Reddit. Why is this person an asshole? I'm confused. What are these hot takes that chat is or Reddit is having today? I don't understand. If it's a public street, anyone can park there. You don't own it. Also, it's likely that there is a public easement, so it isn't your grass either. If they're blocking your drive or something or restricting access, it's on them. Otherwise, you're the asshole. They're parking in front of the mailbox. Legality isn't morality. Parking on the public street for a day or even a week is whatever. Parking there permanently in front of somebody else's house just because you can makes you kind of an asshole. Yeah. Yeah. Like, planting the bushes is a non-violent way of dealing with this situation. I don't understand why they would be the asshole. Like, yeah, they don't own the street, but like they also do want to be able to enjoy their property. And if you're like blocking it, you're blocking their ability to get the mail or throw out their trash or whatever, then yeah, that is weird. Am I the asshole for... Oh, it's another wedding one. My best friend left me over my jokes, but I never saw a problem. Okay. It's on Reddit, so let's take a bet. Let's take a bet. All right. Can we do like a channel points bet? So I can use up some of your points? All right. All right. How do I do that? Do you know, Luigi guy? See. Start prediction. There it is. All right, there we go. All right, start prediction. What is the joke? Nothing offensive. Just put it on there because it could totally be that. Racist crap. Ableism. Sexism. Something video games? Any other ones that I should throw on here? Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna put LGBT plus phobic. Just who knows which one it's gonna be, but one of those, right? Anything else? Dad jokes. Cool. All right. What is the joke? This is not compliant with our guidelines. What is? Girl stuff. I probably can't put being mean based on, how do I describe racism without like saying racism, because like Twitch doesn't want me to put racism into a poll. Yeah, but I want to bet like what kind of, how about race? Race is good. Girl stuff, video games, and I don't think I spelled ableism right, so that should work. Okay, got it. There we go. Oh, your mom jokes. Fuck, that could have been one. Twitch wouldn't let me use the word gay for describing myself. Well, you wouldn't want to be homophobic to yourself. You one of those homophobic gays? Auto-homophobia. Alright, I'm gonna scroll up a bit so we can't see what it says. Oh wow, that is not what I expected the answers to be from y'all. Okay. Homophobia is the fear of housing. I always thought homophobia is a stupid name. There needs to be a better name for it when it's like, you're not afraid, you're just a dick. I like how dad jokes are considered offensive. I mean, Dustin Competent is working on a thing for me. One of the most common phrases said yesterday, according to his thing, was -2. You guys really did not like clown jokes. All right. All right, let's see what it is. Me, female, 18, and now my ex-best friend, female, 19. Oh, it's teen drama. Best friends for almost 2 years. We met at work through her boyfriend introducing us. Me and him were friends before me and her were, and we were really close from the beginning. We never saw any problems in our friendship. We used to spend the night at her place and vice versa. We would talk daily and FaceTime all the times. We went everywhere together. We may often make jokes at each other, like your mom jokes, or you suck at this, or you're not very smart, or how dare you. Oh man, there's so many different options that I did not get. And things like that. It was mutual. We made the same jokes to each other regularly, but suddenly She was rarely speaking to me and never answered my calls or texts. I thought she was just busy with work until since she still worked at the place where we met, and so I tried to bother her as little as possible. Sunday morning, I woke up to see this text message from 3 a.m. saying, I quote, "I've thought about this for a little while now, but I've decided that I don't want to be friends anymore. I feel completely mistreated each time we talk. The things you say to me are hurtful, and you seem to pass them off as jokes, but I don't take them as jokes. I feel hurt. That's all I really have to say. I'm sorry. I'm extremely surprised and generally confused about how what I have been doing was considered I had been doing wrong, considered we make the same similar jokes, and nothing she said ever offended me, so I assumed it's okay. I often told her throughout our friendship that if I ever said anything that made her uncomfortable or upset, to please let me know, and I would apologize and fix my behavior. I never said anything that bothered her. I even reassured me that I wasn't doing anything wrong, and I didn't make her upset with what I said. I often asked my jokes were too far, and just to make sure she had a previous history with having a lot of shitty friends and letting it slide. She had Asperger's, and the things like that don't normally bother others, can bother her. I guess I can understand that sometimes my jokes can seem over the top or possibly rude, but I never truly believed that I've ever made a joke like that to her, especially since she made similar or the same jokes. She keeps saying that. I got a few of my jokes from her. Honestly, she became her mini-me. I often mimic people's personality, humor to fit with them. And so after we'd been friends for a while, for so long, we were practically the same person. Everyone said that, even our moms. So I thought that since my jokes were basically hers, everything was fine. So am I the asshole? Okay. I bet you we can find out what she actually said, because she's not saying. I What anime did you drop after the first episode, and why? 7 Deadly Sins. I couldn't get into it. I was like, more 3 episodes, but whatever. Yeah, honestly, I agree. Yeah. This one was, what perfectly normal word has been ruined by the internet? Daddy. Agreed. 7 Deadly Sins sucks. I'm sorry. I would love to punch the fucking every character in that universe in the face. Fuck that. It's so shit, man. All right, what'd you say? What'd you actually say? I mean, like, she seems, your friend seems like she just wasn't letting you know that she was offended. Probably because she didn't want to, like, make it a problem. I read 7 Deadly Sins until the end. I couldn't get past a few episodes. I'm sorry, it was just so frustrating. The main character is such a self-insert, or at least one that you're supposed to self-insert yourself into, and he's just a fucking dickbag. He's useless. But of course, he's super powerful and all that shit, so it's great, and he's fine, and everyone's horny for him. And he has no personality. It's horny bait to some degree. I feel like this is almost the opposite way around, Collect, where it's less that the person with Asperger's couldn't take the hint, it's the person without Asperger's couldn't take the hint. Like, I feel like this could have been worked out, depending on what was said, especially if they made the exact same jokes. Like this person, okay. Wasn't a joke, it was a joke is something that someone's, I would love to know what joke it was, because we can't actually like predict this. All right, I'm gonna choose an outcome. I'm gonna go with okay. What ones? You're not very smart. How dare you? Your mom. You suck at this. I'm gonna assume ableism. I'm gonna go with ableism as the winner here. I'm gonna bet you that was what it was. We do not have enough info on what her. Let's go. Big win for ableism today. Am I the asshole for refusing to eat a burger because it had sauce on it? See, I love this. When it's like wedding shit, it's so boring. I just don't give a shit. Like, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up about your wedding. Like, if it's someone else's wedding, do whatever it is. It's their special day. It's like the birthday thing, you know? You just sort of like suck it up and go, okay, yeah, if you guys want to do that, I can't go because it's like a problem for me because of the allergies or whatever. I'm sorry. And then it's not a big fucking deal. I'm 14 female. You are a child. I hate sauces. Like, I get physically sick when I taste it. On the other hand, my dad, 47, loves it. Just doing a little math in my head. Okay. As weird as it sounds, the texture of the sauces and the taste of them don't sit right with me. Even after I take the sauce off something, I can't eat the meal if it still takes... You are a fucking child. My dad got me McDonald's for dinner since didn't feel like cooking. And I got a plain cheeseburger, no fries. Everything on it said plain, so I didn't feel the need to check the burger. When we got home, we discovered the burger had everything on it, including ketchup and mustard. Disgusting. I'm gonna vomit in my fucking throat right now. Holy shit. Jesus Christ, I can't handle it. That's so disgusting. Can you imagine putting ketchup and mustard on a burger? It's a McDonald's burger. It's going to make you shit yourself regardless of what's on it. I discovered the burger had everything on it, including ketchup and mustard. I tried scraping it off with a knife, but it was just taking all the cheese and stuff on it, so I didn't want to eat it. I told my dad this, and he was telling me my attitude is disgusting and I'm horrible. I know he knows that I can't have ketchup or mustard, but he told me to suck it up since it was an allergy. So now... all I have to eat is a slice of toast, unbuttered, because his girlfriend used the last of it to bake a stupid cake that I hate as well. I hate cake as well. I hate good things. Skill issue. And I'll just get food at school tomorrow for lunch since I don't eat breakfast and he doesn't wake up until much later for work. As much as I love cooking for myself, I generally can't cook. I'd love to cook for myself. I can't. It's just something I can't do. All I've managed to do is burn curry powder and water once in the microwave, putting explode all over the microwave. So those can paint a decent picture. Also, I also was the one who paid for it using money my mom gave me. So it's not like I'm wasting his money either. Okay, that changes things a bit. I feel like I'm acting incredibly spoiled, and I feel bad that he won't talk to me. It's 7 p.m., and I'm gonna try to go to sleep so I don't feel hungry later. Am I the asshole for refusing to eat a burger? Yeah, actually, no. If you bought the burger... This does seem like annoying teenager stubbornness. Having like not had the easiest access to like food at times in my life. Like I've it's very hard for me to go and say, like, I will eat literally everything on my plate. even if I'm stuffed, because I don't want anything to spoil. I seriously cannot deal with that. That to me is upsetting to some degree. It could be like an undiagnosed autism thing where she has a texture problem. We don't know that though, and I don't feel like we should diagnose other people with conditions when we have no information. I love you, kitties. Sorry, I just saw that one was there. It's pretty normal to have. Yeah, I mean, like, if the kid literally, I mean, I feel like, okay, it could be an autism thing. And if that's the case, then that sucks. But we don't know that, so I'm not going to go down that route. I'm going to assume that she doesn't have some sensory thing, and she's just being a child about this. The dad's a bit harsh here. Why don't they eat breakfast? Probably because they just don't have time. We have to make a judgment. We can't just walk away from this. I think she's like 14 and angsty, yeah. We're not getting the child's perspective, yeah. Also, why is the dad not paying for the McDonald's? Like, what the fuck happened there? I don't know. It's really hard for me to sympathize with this kid. I think that this kid... Everyone sucks here? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. The dad could have been nicer about this. She also is probably painting him in a worse picture than really is there. But I think she's being an angsty teenager about this. I don't understand her perspective on this. Like, I don't think that you're getting... Am I an asshole for threatening to call my landlord if my roommate allows a guest to stay at our apartment? Probably. I'm 20. I have a roommate, 24. We split the rent 50-50 for a 2-bed apartment. We get along pretty well. Never had any problems. As part of our renter's agreement with the landlord, we're only allowed one guest over at a time for a week max, with the consent of the other roommate. So if we want to have a friend stay with me for a few days, my roommate has to agree and vice versa. We both had friends over before, and it's always gone peacefully. Both of us had more than one friend over with no issues because we respected each other's space and belongings. It's important to note that I've only ever invited over other women. He's only ever invited over other men. Our guests usually stay in... our own bedrooms. 3 weeks ago, one of my friends, Mike, needed a place to stay for 3 days because he was leaving an abusive partner. I asked my roommate if it was okay to have him over for those 3 days. I explained the sensitivity of the situation, promised as always to cover any extra expenses caused by Mike being over. My roommate refused because he didn't feel comfortable with a man being invited over. I had no clue what he was... I had to double check and make sure who was like male and female here. Okay. I had no clue what he was talking about. I was very annoyed, but I respected his choice. My friends and I put money together and got Mike a hotel room for those 3 days instead. Yeah, OP is female. That's what I had to double check because, like, I could understand, like, she only invites women over and then, like, OP is a dude and he wants to invite, like, a dude over suddenly, or Today, my roommate asked if he could have 2 friends over for Friday on the weekend. I said no because it went against the renter's rule. He was confused because we both agreed to break the rules before, but I said to him that I didn't feel comfortable with 2 strange men over. He could tell straight away that I was doing it to annoy him because he didn't let Mike stay over. Plus, I have met his friends he was inviting before. He told me to stop being childish because he has the right to refuse guests for being uncomfortable, whereas I was doing it to be annoying. What's even more irritating is he's met Mike before and they get along with each other. Then he said he'd like to invite them over anyway, but I said I'd call the landlord if he did so. I got into an argument and called me an asshole and then threatened to call the landlord over this. What? What would the landlord do about that situation? Still don't think I'm in a wrong because I'm allowed in the agreement to refuse guests for any reason, but I would like an objective opinion. Am I the asshole? I think when you are in a situation where someone is an abusive partner, you can put aside some differences to get them out of that situation, you know? Who was it recently? Amaranth? That was dealing with that shit? And like, just seeing that video of that stuff going on with her, I was just like, shit, I don't know her. But, like, I'd invite her to stay and sleep on the couch, just get her fucking out of that situation. But then I realized that, like, I'm absolutely someone she's never spoken to, and there's absolutely no way that I'd, like, yeah, like... So, if I knew someone who is in an abusive situation, and I've offered this before, and I've done this for people before, I've let people that I don't particularly know all that well stay at my place to be able to get out of an abusive situation, because that's, like... The main thing of why people don't leave abusive situations is because they fear having, like, no support afterwards and that they're going to be left on the street and they're going to be in an awful situation, right? So, like, just let the fucker stay on the couch, man. Like, the guy can get his shit together in a couple days. Probably save up a little bit of money. I would say not the asshole. I think she's being a little petty over it, but... If I'm being abused by my own psyche, where do I go for that? A shrink. She's being a brat about the way she's handling this, but I feel like this is malicious compliance. It's one of those things that, like, she's just doing everything by the rules. They broke the rules in the past because they didn't have, like, this, like, issue with each other, and now they do. This breaks the social contract that they had with each other. This is going to make things awkward after this, but I don't think that she's an asshole for doing that necessarily. I'm just so fucking mad at the roommate, honestly. Yeah, she needs to stand up for herself to some degree, and this is kind of her first opportunity to do that. Roommate is definitely a creep who's jealous. That's kind of my read on it, too. Considering that she only ever invited women over, I would say you need to probably leave, because that... But then, like... Yeah, but they were just over for... So, men never stayed the night with her. Yeah. Yeah, I think that she's not the asshole. I would say that this is probably a situation where, like, this guy sucks and it shows a little bit through the cracks on what kind of person he is. You know? Am I the asshole for not introducing my husband's biological daughter to her biological siblings. So before my husband and I ever met, he had a brief fling with a woman from work, and she ended up getting pregnant. They decided to give up the child for adoption, a girl. Later on, we meet, get married, have 3 kids that are now 15, 14, and 9. Weirdest way you could have phrased that. Normally you go up in age, but sure. In 2015, my husband passed away and is in a very traumatic way, and I've been a single mother ever since. His side of the family and I are still close, and we keep in touch. We take trips together, etc. My sister-in-law has done one of those DNA tests, and I guess the daughter my husband gave up for adoption did one as well, and started reaching out to my sister-in-law, trying to get in contact with her birth father. Obviously, since that's not possible, since he's no longer alive. But my sister-in-law told her about me and my kids, so she wants to meet her biological siblings. The thing is, I don't want to do this. I never told my kids about her. Honestly, I never even really thought about it until it came up, and I remembered he told me. I don't want to complicate my kids or my own lives with meeting somebody who could potentially want the meeting to become a relationship. My friends are also, or my children are also very young. When my husband died, and the 2 youngest are pretty much have no memories of him. The oldest, very few, and we have spent many years moving on with our lives. Yes, I know that sounds horrible. My sister-in-law is not going to give our contact information to the girl without consent, of course, but I still do feel bad. My sister-in-law told me that she found her biological mother, but she doesn't want anything to do with her, so I feel doubly bad. Am I the asshole for not bringing my husband's biological daughter into our lives? I get the want for distancing, because this is a stranger at the end of the day. Because OP has never met this person. I can see it from both sides. I can see why I can see why the daughter would want to meet up, to just have some level of closure and understand what like went on with her. But like I would say probably the asshole is a sister-in-law, you know? Like, because I don't feel like that the daughter is an asshole for wanting this, and I don't feel like OP is an asshole for wanting to have like some distance. Sister-in-law should not have given away information about the fact that someone has children to a complete stranger. That's what just happened there. Like, this is maybe at best, this is a situation where you go and have a coffee date where you meet this daughter and the kids are not involved. So that way you can maybe have a heart-to-heart talking about like what like the husband was like and all that kind of thing. The sister-in-law is the asshole here. I don't think that you have any... Am I the asshole here for thinking this? It's a tough one. Children have the right to know their biological sister and sibling, and have the right to meet them if they want to. They're 15, 14, and 9. The 9-year-old is like... What are 9-year-olds like? What shows do 9-year-olds watch? It's a good idea to just give us an idea of what ages are. Loud House. Odd Squad. The Partridge Family? Who the fuck made this list? The Adventures of Tintin. How old are you? The Little House on the Prairie? When was September 27th, 2022? You can't throw Little Women onto a fucking list like that. What? Did I put 90 in instead of 9? Have you guys ever watched Little House on the Prairie? Like, because my mom was super into it, so she put it on for us once. It's kind of boring, man. I remember distinctly that there was an episode around Christmas where they're living in a fucking cabin and they're asking Santa for stuff, and the dad comes in with like some wooden ass like things that he carved like that day, and they lose their shit over it, and that's like the episode. Like, all takes place in it's super boring. Like, slice of life without the charm. It's slice of life done by like extremely white people. It's so slow, man. Like, I don't get it. I think it's like, if you like the idea of farmsteading. Anyway, what the fuck was I was trying to figure out what 9-year-olds like, so we can get an idea of what a 9-year-old is like. 9-year-olds like Little House on the Prairie, apparently. So that gives you an idea of what they're into and where their mental state is. Pokemon, Legos, probably, yeah. Roblox, Fortnite. God, are kids playing Fortnite at 9 years old? They are. Yippee! Das und root beer. Yippee! Whatever the fuck. Fortnite und Cola. Yeah, that was it. Man, okay. This might be a conversation for when they're a little bit older. A 15-year-old might be able to make this decision. But this happened like before they were together. Fred knows that meme by heart. I don't know. I think that, you know, it would be a kindness to go and meet her on her own. I wish I could say the situation sucks. I don't think anyone sucks here, excluding the sister-in-law. The sister-in-law sucks. Am I the asshole for saying someone is short and fat? Removed. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's pretty much no occasion where you can throw that out there and it not... The fact that they removed the fucking post probably is an indicator that that was the case, yes. Man, you suck cock. You're just worthless and a piece of shit, and you're short and you're fat, and I fucking hate you. And then it's like... Am I an asshole for saying that? And it's like, yes. Yes, you are. Why would you even question that? You knew that when you said it. Why would you... Am I the asshole for beating my coworker's kid at Smash Brothers? So it happened at a small Halloween get-together. Went to work with a few friends from work. A lot of them were older than me, 28, and are at the point where they like to have kids like the persons whose house we were. So they're somewhere in their 50s. I don't know their exact age, but they have a few kids, youngest of which was like 8 or 9 at the party. The kid was just bored trying to do something. His dad mentions that I might play some of the same games that he does. And yeah, sure. enough we both play Smash Brothers. Kid asks if I want to play the game, so I'm bored, so I agree. This is where I totally wiped the floor with the kid. Like, no contest at all. He tries several different game modes and rules to try to get a win in. He takes the L every time. After a few losses, he's getting visibly frustrated. His teenage sibling tries to calm him down to no avail. I just keep letting the kid play me as long as he wants to. I was not particularly egging him on or anything. Either I would usually ask if he wanted to go on again. Eventually, the kid has a mini tantrum and his dad has to stop what he's doing and scold him and send him to bed. It was a little awkward for everyone. No one ever directly put the blame on me for this, but I could definitely tell from the vibe in the room that they low-key blamed me for this, for the outburst as well. There's a lot of small comments saying things like I was harsh and asking why I couldn't just let him win one, or why I didn't just stop playing with him after he started getting mad. I just told him that I was having fun and left it at that. I'll admit to not being the best at reading social situations, but I feel like none of the blame is put on me at all. I don't feel particularly obligated to go easy on him just because he's a kid. He's fucking 9. You're like 3 times older than him. I'm not like a go-to tournament Smash player, but I'm at least decent at it, and I didn't hold back when playing him, which I didn't seem to be an issue, but reading the room afterwards, it seems like maybe I should have. Am I the asshole? Yes, but really fucking funny. Absolutely fucking hilarious. You're an asshole, though. Like, yeah. The kid is 9. The kid's gonna be like expecting to win sometimes, you know? Kid is a sore loser. The kid is 9. You know? Would I let the kid win? Dude, I remember explicitly one time, me and my friends were at the arcade. Their kid brother wanted to play me at air hockey, right? I was kicking this kid's shit in, right? Whiffed a couple times, got it down to a tie, let him win. And my friends were dunking on me. But one of my friends called me out for it, and they're like, you let him win, didn't you? And I'm like, because I did. Because the kid was he was a child, man. Why do I care if I win? It's fucking air hockey. Who gives a shit? It's a game. The fun is not just the win, it's also the playing of the game. He paid for the hockey, right? If the kid was a shit, I'd beat his ass. But he wasn't. You need to have a giant ego about everything. How else would you use the internet? Being a good person means not winning sometimes? Winning sometimes is redefining your definition of winning. Like, I think if you're a kid and you try your best and you beat your parents, that's good. You know? That's ideal. That's a good situation. But I don't feel like you should sandbag completely. You know? Like, let him get a win or two. Let him knock you off the stage or something, you know? Play a character you don't know. Play bad a little bit, you know? Try some tech that you don't understand, you know? Play random, sure. You know? Play as a bad character. Because you are 3 times his age. You have had 28 years to get good at video games. Of course this guy picked his main. You fucking know this guy just picked his main. I would say, like, the guy's an asshole. He sees the kid getting upset, and instead of, like, I don't know, treating a child well... The phrase is it's just a game, is a weak mindset. If you're okay with what happened losing, imperfection of a craft, then you stop getting angry after losing. You've lost twice. There's always something to learn. There's always room for improvement. Never settle. Thank you, Ninja. I don't care about beating a child. After you beat the child a couple times and you're like, oh, fuck, this kid sucks at this game. Maybe you realize that, like, that's not going to change no matter what the settings are. Like, throw the child a bone. Yes, you're the asshole, but it's really funny. Am I the asshole for yelling at my stepdaughter? Oh, man, the next two look good. They're so good today. Maybe I'm soft when it comes to kids. But, you know, like, don't... Like, just treat kids right. You know? I'm a 42-year-old male. I have a stepdaughter, 15 from my marriage with my wife, and a biological daughter. We've been married for 4 years, but me and my stepdaughter are not particularly close. Neither she nor my... and neither is she and my biological daughter. This week, I came home after work and went to the common bathroom, the one that's shared by our daughters, since my wife was in the shower. My biological daughter was at my ex-wife's house that day. I went to her bathroom and found a complete disaster. There was hair in the sink, shampoo bottles in disarray, littered with tampon wrappers and used tampons. Yes, you could literally see the blood. Disgusting. Women exist. I yelled at my stepdaughter and told her to clean up the mess that she made, to which she snapped back that it's her bathroom and that the hair and the shampoo bottles were my biological daughter's. I asked if the tampons were hers, and she said they were. Were they on the floor? When you opened the door, did a tampon just, like, deep throat you immediately? Or are they in the fucking trash where they should be? What the fuck do you want? He did say littered. Okay, if they were on, like, if they weren't in the trash, then that's fucked up. I'll give him a bone there. It said littered with tampon wrappers and used tampons. That's gross. I told her, like, bodily fluids need to be, like, in the trash or in the toilet. I told her that that she was living in my house, she pays no rent, and that it was unacceptable to leave used tampons lying in the bathroom because it's unsanitary and absolutely disgusting to look at. She went crying to my wife, who said I was overreacting. It's a normal teen girl thing. And I was being offensive by calling the tampons disgusting since it's part of being a woman. My wife also complained about how my biological daughter left the bathroom messy too. But I said the hair and the shampoo bottles and versus the literally used tampons lying around were different. I did tell her I would talk with my daughter, though. I said that when my stepdaughter buys her own house, she can leave all the tampons she wants, but under my roof, she'll dispose of them properly. Okay, so they were actively just on the floor and shit. That's just, why would you do that? That's just fucking weird, man. Like, it's normal for me to shit as well, but I don't leave the fucking, like, toilet paper on the floor after I wipe my ass. Right? Like, it's a normal part of being human. You have to do that. It's not a choice thing. I said that the stepdaughter, when she buys her own house, she can leave them all over the place. I also said that if we see this happen again, I'll ground her and possibly take away her other privileges. My wife and stepdaughter think I'm being unreasonable, dramatic, and I'm favoring my biological daughter. The tampons were literally lying around, not in the trash. To be specific, there were a couple on the counter. What? What? One on the floor and one behind the toilet bowl. Wrappers were all over. That is the reason I told them to dispose of them properly. Shampoo bottles were in the shower area. There's a designated shelf for the bottles, but they were just on the floor and some were toppled over. I'm getting a lot of comments about yelling, which are valid. I do want to clarify that it was more of a stepdaughter's name, come clean this mess you made in the bathroom, rather than yelling at her the entire time, not the part where I told her it was unsanitary. About the rent thing, definitely worded terribly, and that's on me. I said in response to her argument that it was her bathroom and it meant that she's not paying for anything. I provide her with a space and I expect her to show some appreciation and cleanliness and to keep it clean. Thank you all. I took some time to reflect. I calmed down. I did apologize about the rent comment. Among other things, I told her that she was also welcome in the house and she was free to use the bathroom for all her needs, but also I expect a sense of hygiene in the future. I also called my daughter, briefly explained the situation, told her that we need to have a family discussion when she comes home about overall cleanliness. To my utter shock, when I asked my... what is SD supposed to stand for? Stepdaughter. Where she disposed of tampons, since I noticed they were all gone and all the blood was mostly cleaned out. I found out that she flushed them all down the toilet and it's completely clogged. There's a trash can in the bathroom. I didn't know if she did it out of anger or out of ignorance, but my wife is refusing to do anything about it. I mean, okay. I don't have that downstairs mix up. I don't know. She's 15. No, the biological daughter is 13. She may just not know how to clean up after herself. I have a stepdaughter from my marriage, and oh, the biological daughter is 13. Okay. I knew how to clean up at 15. I think we can say that the mom is an asshole. Because she's defending the daughter on this situation where it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and also clearly has not taught her daughter how to clean up after that. Her daughter needs guidance on those matters, and I'm 33 years old. I don't know shit. I know you're not supposed to flush them down the toilet because they're supposed to be absorbent. They're gonna clog shit. I assume you just throw them in the trash. You know? You don't just leave them on the fucking counter. I feel like that's fairly self-explanatory. I'm gonna say not the asshole. And that the mom is the asshole. And the kid just doesn't know better. You know? The kid is 15. Apparently a bit stupid. Every single women's bathroom has signs asking you not to flush them. I noticed that in, like, when I go yarn shopping with my wife. There's usually, like, just one bathroom because it's, like, a small mom and pop. And they'll have that sign, and I'm like, okay. So that's kind of how I figured it out. But it does not surprise me to learn that it's in every women's bathroom. Because, yeah, toilets aren't meant for that. You take the poop and the shit away. And the pee-pee. I said poop and shit as if those were different things. Also, I'm having a bit of an ADD moment. Do you mind if I, like, hold up one sec? I love this pop-up. Watch this. Watch this. Not show this message again. Close. Okay, I'm going to close out of Sony Vegas real quick, and I'm going to show you this thing again. All right, so I open Sony Vegas again, right? This button does nothing. Like, you always get that pop-up. Like, I already have Sony Vegas 14. It does pretty much everything I want it to do. And I got it on sale, so I wouldn't have to buy it for like $130. Like, do not show this anymore. Like, why would you think that I have a video editing program. You're advertising your video editing program on my video editing program. I don't want to edit it. I don't want to update. This is good enough. It does the job. No one's been like, oh, shit. Rev, you real suck at this because, like, man, you know, I could tell that you use Sony Vegas 14 and not Sony Vegas 20. Like, no one knows. No one gives a shit. Orthogonal Caster was saying that the VOD was desynced last night near the end, and I don't know why. My cat keeps slapping your face on my screen. See if the cat does anything about that. I've been spamming every video you've ever posted saying that I could tell you use Sony Vegas 14 because I can tell how it is. You're banned. All right, how desynced is the that was just fortunate timing. In future episodes as well. But I don't think it's super relevant that you need to watch those. Yeah, it looks like it's not like super desynced. I'd be surprised if the VOD is desynced. Okay. You scared her away? Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would say not the asshole for telling your daughter to not leave biohazards all over the place. Well, I'd be the asshole if I made a doctor's appointment for my wife without her knowing, probably. I'm 32, conflicted as I respect my wife, 27, and her bodily autonomy, but I'm concerned since she's having some worrisome changes in mood swings and some underwear. namely bralettes, have been reportedly too small recently. We suspected pregnancy, but the last 3 tests have been negative. She says she's been 1 month late for her period. I'm worried if it's not pregnancy, if it's some other medical issue that could be the cause. I suggested to her to book a doctor's appointment as it might shed some light on what's going on. She resisted all my requests, and so where I recognize I'm an asshole, I asked her friends to help me convince her. There's essentially 4 people nagging my wife and upset her greatly. I own up to that. I made steps to ask them to stop right now. And I asked myself if it would be the right thing to make a doctor's appointment without her consent or knowing. I want her to be healthy and safe, and I want the treatment. I want treatment best for her than stressing about what's going on with her body. For my information, my wife believes that herself overweight or obese. Not that I find that a problem or even a barrier for emotional intimacy or sexual. I love her greatly, and I want to know if this hill is worth fighting for. She also fears hearing from doctors saying that her late period is due to obesity, which I understand and empathize with her feelings and struggles with weight. To have to hear that from essentially a stranger, would I be an asshole if I booked the doctor's appointment? I've decided to not book the doctor's appointment. I'm bringing up the doctor's appointment and trying to work on a solution together. I don't want to be over. Yeah, honestly, do that. Yeah, how about you just fucking talk to your wife? Say, look, this is concerning. I'm glad he didn't do it yet. Why was that not the first plan? That really should have been the first plan before trying to bug other people into getting her to go to the... I thought he said he did ask her. I suggested her to book a doctor's appointment. It might shed some light on what's going on. She resisted all requests. So he did ask. This is a difficult situation because, like, you know, that's a bit odd that she's missing her period, but that happens sometimes. Like, if you're stressed out enough, like, you can just miss your period. If you don't eat right, you can miss one. Like, it's just fucking weird, man. The human body is fucking weird. I don't know if obesity can cause it. I would guess so. Sure. If he had pulled the trigger, he would have been an asshole. I feel like he had enough conscious thought in his brain to do that. Yeah, just talk to your wife about why you're concerned. Most of the time when I go to the doctor, it's because my wife is overly concerned and she wants to take care of me. And I don't feel like it's that big of a deal, but I go because of her mental well-being rather than mine. Like when I went to the doctor recently, my wife was very concerned. We don't know their financial situation, but it's pretty important if they live in the United States. That is important. That is a huge cost. You're right. Also, he may not just realize that women be like that sometimes. I mean, the tests are coming back negative. They do have a chance to be wrong, but you've taken 3. Like, unless if you fucked it up completely, like, that's probably right. You know? This could be solved with a conversation. That generally ends up being the case. Yeah, I feel like if you had done this, you would have been the asshole. I feel like you're overly concerned and you back down a bit. Am I the asshole for wearing shoes in the house to correct my posture? I would love to hear what you think is happening here. I recently found out that I need insoles for my shoes to correct my posture and some other stuff, but they said I had to wear my shoes with the insoles everywhere, inside and outside. There's one problem with this. My mother, yes, I live with my parents, gets really pissed when anybody wears shoes in the house. When I found out I needed insoles, I started wearing the shoes around the house. She got pretty mad at me, and it's kind of outlawed the correction of my posture. Am I the asshole for continuing to wear shoes around the house despite her ban on me? Edit, I do see how I'm an asshole. However, do you have any suggestions of in-house shoes? Also, just to answer some of the questions and statements, because I've done injuries, I exercise in a pretty sterile environment that is only used by a couple of people cleaned daily. Because of this, my shoes that I use indoors and work out with are pretty much spotless. I do see how it is disgusting, but my shoes are pretty damn clean. Any suggestions? Slippers. I mean, those shoes are probably fine. Yeah, I mean, doctors are weird about like, oh, you already have this other condition. Well, it's probably just that. And it's like, yeah, that's not a symptom of that thing, you know? I don't know what that word is that you use there, Buntime, but that's a feet posture thing, and there's specific slippers for that. Yeah, buy that if you can. If you can't, explain the situation. Like, hey, I don't have the money for this other kind of thing. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, there's some good ones here. The asshole for not splitting the bill evenly. My wife Rachel and I were invited to a group dinner with a nice restaurant on Halloween. Originally we were invited we thought it was going to be 6 people. When we got to the house before dinner, we found it was 12 people. Of those 12 people, we were friends with 2, including the host Sarah and her boyfriend. A few people we had met in previous occasions that Sarah had hosted along with mutual friends. It's a smaller community we moved to 3 years ago. The night started when Sarah's house, prior to the event, at a nice restaurant. There was wine being served. My wife kindly refused as she's 6 weeks pregnant. And at this point, we haven't told many people, including Sarah. Sarah was pretty insistent on my wife drinking as their friends. My wife told her that she is pregnant as well, as most of the people at the party found out at the same time. We didn't expect to be telling a large group of people this very early on in the pregnancy, and it's our first time getting pregnant. Also important to note, sometimes you just kind of lose babies. Like, miscarriages are more common than we like to admit. It's a common theme on Am I the Asshole? So, like, I think, like, not telling people when you're only 6 weeks pregnant is fine. Because, like, what if something happens? I'm not even talking about SIDS. Just don't pressure people to drink. The fuck? Yeah, sometimes I don't feel like drinking as well. My ex had a doctor straight up say, you're too young to have depression. You have your whole life. Depression is for old people. Wow. What the fuck? That's not how depression works. That's not how depression works at all. It's a chemical imbalance thing. Although I've been seeing some stuff about psilocybin or whatever it's called, like mushrooms. being used. They're getting to phase 3 trials of using psilocybin. Is that how you pronounce it? That actually is like looking pretty good at maybe being able to cure depression. Like cure it, which is fucking wild to me. I never thought about that as a possibility. You basically take a small dose and then you do some therapy and while you're high and cure. Not treatment, but cure. Now, it's in stage 2 right now. It's going on. It does have some like side effects that they're still working out, which is why it's not a thing I'd recommend because you know, it messes with your brain chemistry. But you know, I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Cause yeah, taking drugs without a doctor's like, especially shrooms. Shrooms are real dangerous. They'll fuck up your brain permanently. But if your brain's already fucked up, then I kind of figure it's sort of like hitting the side of a TV when it's not working. Like maybe it fixes it. So, but also it could make it worse. So, you know, I think it's along those lines. Very Texan logic. I'm proud of that one. Yeah. We get dinner. The plates are around $30 a person. There's a lot of appetizers ordered. There's also a large amount of alcohol being ordered. I was drinking, and my wife obviously was not. The bill came out, and it was close to $1,500 total for 12. Oh, for 12 people. Jesus Christ. It was close to $700 was alcohol, and $500 was food. Someone had ordered $120 bottles of wine along the way. We were told to pay $150 per person. How many people are there? 12. Okay. So. Why would we pay $150 each? Like, what? Oh, tip. Right. Okay. Right. It's like, what am I not calculating? My wife tried to talk to Sarah and the host, but was ignored. We didn't feel like we had to pay for the alcohol equally as my wife didn't drink any. At this point, I'm pretty intoxicated, so it wasn't much for use for me to speak. Okay, well, you drank it. I sent 200 over to the guy who put this card down. That was 150 me, plus an extra 50 that covered more than my wife's meal she had. Snapped a picture of the check to refer back to tomorrow. Figured we could deal with it later as the group was now heavily intoxicated. Following evening, I got a text saying, hey, you Venmo'd me $200 instead of $300 for your wife. It was $150 a person. I apologize for not explaining last night, but we didn't feel like it was fair for us to have to pay for the alcohol. My wife didn't drink. I had a massive hangover and it completely slipped my mind. So it turned into a downhill battle about how this messes up things for everyone else. I mentioned it would be an extra $10 from all other individuals instead of the extra $100 from us. Then I told them that when they go to group dinners, you're usually expected to pay equal amount. I kept saying I'll contact everyone and let them know I don't personally have their phone numbers. So I asked them. Next thing you know, I'm getting text messages from her boyfriend, who's my friend, about how much of a scumbag I was for not paying the full amount. Texts from both circled around and how they didn't know that she was pregnant. Basically, I said I shouldn't have come if we didn't intend on splitting the bill evenly, but they told it. The text from both circled around and how they didn't know that she was pregnant. I basically said I shouldn't have come if we didn't intend on splitting the bill evenly. I was pretty taken aback on this concept, plus reaction. Am I the asshole for not splitting the bill evenly? Rachel, his wife, okay, I did 2 per suggestion. I did the math and split the food plus non-alcohol for 12 people for 11 people. Technically, we should have paid 216. Add on, I don't drink wine. What? If I had had their number, okay, I also understand why I would have texted people to reconcile with the people who missed out. If I had their numbers, I would do it myself. I apologize for any inconvenience. While I'm focused on the fact that Rachel and her boyfriend said we deserve to pay the full split price, they're adamant that we should pay the extra 100. It continued to spiral to the point where Sarah sent me a list of people's Venmo accounts to request for the difference. She said that they're not cheap enough to request $10 per person. I sent a Venmo for the remaining 100 to the car holder, apologized for the miscommunication, then decided to text the people letting them know there was a miscalculation, explained what happened, and to let Sarah know that that Sarah was unwilling to text him. Everyone was nice and paid me back almost immediately. Offered to hang out again, lesson learned on how to speak up at the time, but in the end, we felt overwhelmed, people thinking I was not the asshole. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, no, the fact that, like, they didn't want to go there, explain that, and then they explained it anyway, and then they ignored that, and then tried to divide it up again. Like, the only people that seem to be having a problem with this are Sarah and John. Everyone else is fine with this arrangement. It makes some sense. Unless if he drank $700 worth of alcohol and everyone else was left with, like, none, I don't see why he's... This is insane. This is insane people behavior. All right, I want to read this one. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that it wasn't racism she experienced? This is going to be good. Reddit is obviously able to determine whether or not someone's racist or not. Let's go. I'm 23 and my friend is 22. We went out to eat. We went to an Italian restaurant. We've been to this Italian restaurant many times before. This time we had a terrible server. Our server barely served us. He refused to serve my friend. We don't know why. And because of this, we shortly left. After getting home, my friend claimed that it was because she was Hispanic. Now, my friend is Hispanic, and she's very in touch with her culture. However, she's very white passing. She has red hair, blue eyes, pale skin. I told her that we weren't even talking about anything Hispanic, so that shouldn't have been an issue. She kept claiming that it's because she was Hispanic, and the waitress hated her. Kept trying to explain that the waitress was just rude in general and didn't like either of us, and even if she would serve me and not serve her, she was still rude because of how white passing my friend is and how We weren't talking about Mexican culture at all. I don't think that the waitress was being racist towards her. I do think that the waitress was being a dick, though. Not racist, as my friend, as I told my friend, that's not racism, just her being a dick. My friend snatched back at me saying that I don't know what racism is because I'm white and I've never experienced it. Am I the asshole? Yeah, I feel like I'm white and I've never experienced racism. So I don't quite I would love to see a picture of the friend. I feel like that would solve so many problems. Because just because OP thinks that they're like, you know, passing or whatever. OP might be dumb. OP might be right. I think we lack critical information. It sounds like the person was a dick regardless. I think we can agree at that. I feel like that's maybe not a, you know, if your friend feels like that someone's being racist to them, then maybe just like let it go and side with them. Like, it's your friend, just take their side. Maybe they're right. You know? Maybe they're wrong. But, like, I don't feel like getting into a fucking fight about it is, like, worth. Like, you're not going back to that restaurant. That waitress sucks. So just side with your friend because your friend's respect is more important here. So it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, like, it's not even like a situation where, like, the person wasn't being an asshole and they just, like, didn't, like, just. So on that level, like, maybe a little bit of an asshole? But honestly, I would like more information. Like, they're still being an asshole. It doesn't really matter why. This is a weird situation. I put in Hispanic woman, red hair, blue eyes, just for like a reference. Could be a thing. And you could still look Hispanic despite having a naturally red head of hair. Like, just scrolling through here. So maybe OP's stupid. Am I the asshole for yelling at my mom over groceries she buys and what meal she cooks for us? Probably. You're 17. Okay. Not an asshole, but dumb. I think we lack information on that last one. I'm 17 and I live with my mom, 42, and my dad, 45. Our house, in the house is also my little sister, 12. And generally you have a good life when you don't fight a lot. Growing up, my mom did most of the childcare and the home chores. she also has a part-time job. My dad also has a full-time job. He runs a construction business. However, lately, I've been getting upset at my lack of my dad's involvement in our lives. Don't get me wrong, he lives with us and pays our bills and isn't absent or anything, but I only ever see him for like half an hour at supper time. Then he goes into the bedroom to continue working or read or generally just be by himself. I know he has a physically difficult job, so he often wants to relax when he gets home, but still, he never helps with our schoolwork, especially my little sister, and rarely comes out to our school events, plays Latin quiz, sisters hockey. He never drives us to school. He's always angry at me and at my mom when she's unable to pick me up and had to drive me home one time, comparing to the hundreds of times my mom dropped everything to come pick us up. At dinner, when you do see him, he constantly complains about work and we never get to speak. Okay. Your dad has issues. What's the problem with mom? Like, why is the mom the issue? So far, all you've done is complain about how your dad kind of sucks. And part of it is like, yeah, he's got a physically demanding job. He's probably fucking exhausted after doing construction all day. Who knows if he's like the actual guy like putting down like nails and shit, or if he's just the guy who points at them and goes, you should build that house. And everyone else is like, yep, we didn't need you to tell us that. At dinner, when we do see him, he constantly complains about his work and we never get to speak. I know it is their agreement that the mom takes us youths and the dad works, but I wish he was a little more involved. Anyway, a lot of our house revolves around our dad. We try and be quiet when he's home. So the asshole's the dad? We don't do laundry when he's home in case if he wants to do a load on his own. The majority of the groceries my mom buys are all suited to his taste, and almost all the meals are made to his taste. Usually this is not a big deal, but lately these things have been bothering me, and it came to a head tonight. My mom cooked pork with apples and rosemary, as well as turnips with butter. I hate this entire meal, but my dad likes it. My little sister is lactose intolerant. Oh, okay. But my mom put butter on the turnips. I was like, why does that matter? Because dad prefers butter over margarine. When dad saw that I wasn't eating much, he huffed and called me picky. I blew up at my parents saying I wouldn't be picky if my mom actually bought some groceries that I or my sister like. For example, I like Max, not the Pink Ladies. Macintoshes, not Pink Ladies. Those are different brands of apples. My mom always buys Pink Ladies because that's what my dad likes. My sister hates radishes. My mom always puts them on our salads because that's what my dad likes. Went on about different things about the way my mom always cooks to my dad's taste. Anyway, my mom got a little teary-eyed and said that she just wanted to feed everyone well. My dad was getting angry and sent me to my room for being picky. I know I should be extremely thankful that they're feeding us and putting a house over our head. But I, and I know my sister does this too, often feel like we have second thoughts compared to our dad. Am I the asshole for getting angry over this? I do cook regularly, and when I do, I cook dairy-free for my sister, but sometimes when I buy groceries, I can buy some for food for my sister, and I keep it up in our bedrooms or at school. I've spoken to my mom about this before, but nothing has changed in the year or two since I brought it up. Wow. Wow. I did not expect to have that turnaround. I fully expect this to be a situation where it's like, you're just an entitled little shit. And I was wrong. Like, somehow, with the am I an asshole for not yelling at my mom over the groceries she buys and meals she cooks for us, and the starting sentence being, I'm 17, I fully expected to be in the right in saying you're an asshole, but I am 100% wrong with that. I feel like she misdirected her anger. Someone said that while I was reading this. The dad has a stressful job. Get it. But these are your children. You should be, you know, somewhat accommodating. I want to see the comments. Okay, but we're not looking at the ones where they say that she's the asshole, because I don't think I can handle that. I think I'd get too pissed. I don't think this is about dinner, though. Yes. Yes. Redditor, you're right for some reason. What's happening? What's happening? I'm scared. The Redditor is right. What's happened? This is about a clear hierarchy in your household that isn't fair and it's outdated, and think you need to talk to your mom about this when things are calmer. I wouldn't expect things to change. You can't change other people, and you're about the age where you can change your environment and your circumstances. I think you should be putting energy into planning what you want in your life and look to how you get there. Oh, I've spoken with my mom about this before. She knows I'm upset about how things are. I think the anger tonight was that she wasn't willing to step up and make any changes, so I felt I needed to loudly point out what was going on. My mom was extremely passive to my father, and it bothered me all my life. I'm sorry it sounds like your dad is a controlling emotional abuser. It's not likely to change. I'm sorry. The best you can do is get some therapy and read The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, Not the Asshole. Yeah, 1,000 Redditors agreed with this actually correct take. Wow. What a fucking turn. I feel like yelling at your mom was probably the wrong play. I get why you did it. But the fact that the mom is crying or like teary-eyed about it means that I think she's aware of this. And the mom is also probably like under a lot of fucking stress. I wouldn't say that she's an asshole. I think she's doing her best with the situation. Like, she's in a bad fucking situation based on this. You know? I really don't think that OP is an asshole. Somehow, based on this title and this start, I am flabbergasted that this did not go the way I expected. I don't care about the wedding stuff. Am I the asshole for calling my mom fucking insane? Probably. Let's see why you're not. I'm 17. Okay. All right. Let's get surprised again. All right. No, hold up. Can I be wrong twice? My older brother, Jake, 18. Jake and I have different moms, but share the same dad. Let's just say our dad favors him a lot. And Jake is more or less a perfect child in the sense that he's popular, well-liked, athletic. I don't blame my dad, and I wouldn't call him a shitty father. But it does hurt sometimes that he misses all my concerts all the time and wouldn't care to miss any of Jake's games. Jake also gets first priority in everything. I wouldn't call my dad's favoritism a gender thing because I have another brother, and my dad treats him like he treats me, as if we don't exist and only when it's convenient. Jake is oblivious? I mean, not mean or obnoxious, but he just doesn't acknowledge the favoritism either. He just minds his own business. Jake goes to university now, and he came home last weekend because our dad missed him. I was out with my other brother. We came home to a screaming match between Jake and my mom. She kept accusing him of being high, and he kept telling her, what the fuck? And he kept telling her to fuck off. Well, my mom suddenly says, I don't know what the fuck your father sees in you, but just know that it's only a matter of time before you realize he's fucked up and invested in the wrong child. My daughter is worth more than you will ever be, and I hope you go to sleep at night, every night, knowing that you'll never be more than daddy's money. Wow! Holy shit! What? Holy fuck! What? Wow! I was horrified. I went, what the fuck, Mom? Because seriously, what the fuck? Jake stormed out of the house. I began yelling at Mom. She just kept saying that she's tired of how Dad treats me and that Jake is too old to be acting like he doesn't know what's happening. She says she's not wrong but she went too far, and she should have yelled at Jake or Dad instead of Jake. My mom told Jake that he isn't as innocent as he seemed, and he's been manipulating our dad since he was little. What the fuck? And she's just sticking up for me. I was over it. I called her fucking insane and said that she doesn't need to stick up for me because, again, she's fucking crazy. She immediately started to cry and say that I should be more grateful because I yelled at him because she yelled at him for me as my mom. I went to my room. My mom's been crying for days. It's been a week. She refuses to talk to anyone, and now I'm wondering if I went too far. Am I the asshole? No missing context. Jake was high. My mom yelled at him for it. This is hypocritical because I was high in the moment and other times, and my mom never cares. What is happening? Jake is not the bad guy here. There's no hidden truths. He's not a manipulator. He's just turned 18. What exactly is he supposed to do? Yell at my dad at risk of being cut off? He doesn't exactly have a mother to go home to. My mom had 17 years. She did not once stick up for me. Instead, she would go over and tell me to get over it and trust me when I said that she would still not say a word to my dad. Wow. What? What the fuck was that? I love the fact that it's like there's no missing context. He actually was high. Yeah, no, you're not the asshole. I thought in the beginning that it was going to be like a, you know, a favoritism thing that, you know, she was seeing it, but it didn't really exist. But this sentence, amazing, absolutely fucking jaw-dropping sentence right there. Am I the asshole for forcing my mother-in-law to babysit? There we go. Throwaway. Ever since me and my husband Mark had our kids, my mother-in-law has been begging me to have them over every day. We live 2 hours from her house, but we make sure to visit her on weekends as the kids love spending time at her place and love playing with her cousins who live nearby too. However, whenever they're at her house, she does nothing. And she never does anything for them. She doesn't make food. She doesn't look after them. And is generally just happy just holding them or playing with them for a bit. Of course, this is okay with us. We are more than happy fixing them a quick snack or making sure they are well. But lately, she's been been calling me and Mark nonstop, begging us to drop the kids at her place overnight. She says she misses spending real quality time with them. I keep saying that I refuse to let her see the kids more than once a week. We tried to explain that with us being 2 hours away, the kids are being a handful. They're energetic and very curious. They're children. Okay. How old are they? That would help. It may be difficult for her. She insists that we ended up saying no. She ended up telling the family members that we're denying her access to the children. While I didn't like it, Mark agreed to dropping off the kids at her place for one day. Into the issue, after saying goodbye to the kids, Mark took me to a fancy restaurant halfway across town. He said, since the kids will be at their grandma's place, we can have some quality time. Okay. I agreed. Half an hour into our evening, I got a call from mother-in-law. I'm afraid at first, but she said nothing happened. She just asked when we'll be back. I replied that we'll be back to pick up the kids at 9 a.m. the next day. She immediately got upset. She said she couldn't handle the kids, and they kept demanding food, and that she'd play with them. Or straight up saying that they want their cousins over. We tried telling her that we are busy at the moment and to come over in the next few hours. So far, I don't see how this is going to turn around. She said that she, and these are her exact words, had her fill of children and never expected such trouble. I told her that it was normal behavior for kids their age, and and she started yelling at me on the phone. Mark ended up taking the phone and told her that we'll be over at 9 the next morning. Then she ended up call, and we ended up going back to our date. Okay. Next morning, we show up at 9 exactly. Our kids were happy to see us, but our mother-in-law refused to speak to either of us. When Mark tried joking with her, she screamed at him that we trapped her with our kids and that we were irresponsible and cruel. I reminded her that she was the one that kept insisting that we do this, and she changed her mind, and she could have taken the kids, and we could have taken the kids with us when gone home. Now she's telling the family that she dropped kids off at her house and refused to pick them up, and I was super rude. I've gotten several messages saying that I should be a better daughter-in-law. Am I the asshole? Kids are 7 and 9 because a few people asked. I mean, she wanted to babysit, and then she realized that she couldn't. I think I probably would have gone back and gotten the kids halfway through the date just because I don't trust that woman with my children. I want to babysit the kids. Hey, help, I hate your kids. Yeah. Yeah. Like, if she's an asshole for anything, it's for not going and getting the kids when they're in a situation where the mother-in-law doesn't want to interact with the children. They're expecting things like being fed and having someone to play with when they're 7 and 9. I didn't cook when I was 9 years old. Like, my grandparents passed away fairly early on into my life because they both were heavy smokers. Don't smoke. But every time we've gone to visit Tilda's grandparents, it is like a fucking sin if I do not eat something. If she puts food in front of me, I have to eat it. Like, I will offend everyone and anyone if I don't. That being said, my grandparents-in-law, I guess is the term, have a garden out back, right? They're from up north. They have a garden out back. And they have strawberries. Do you know how fucking good fresh fucking strawberries and like fucking like elderberries are on ice cream? Do you know how fucking good that is? Thanks for encouraging me again to quit. Definitely had an impact. I'm glad. Like, when we go, they go, okay, like, why don't we have salads for, lunch? We need to go out and pick some, like, lettuce and shit. And so then we go pick tomatoes and lettuce and all that shit. And then, like, we put it together. And it's like, yeah, not only is it fun, it's also good food. I'd love to have that, personally. When's the next cooking stream? I don't know. I've hidden the laundry in the office because I didn't have time to like put it away today. And I need to make sure it's put away before Tilda gets home because she's had a rough couple of days, and I don't want her to like come home, see that laundry needs to be put away, and then it's not. Does the HelloFresh thing still work? I don't know. I don't think so. So, I kind of want to spend time with my wife when she gets home. I'll be honest. And, you know, without a camera and all that, so she can just relax. She doesn't have to put on a face. She can just, like, enjoy coming home, and then, like, maybe I cook something for her without y'all. Just that way she can, like, relax, because, like, house husbanding, you know? Pogbot, actually legitimate pog there, I think. I want to see why OP is an asshole. You're the asshole, and I can't believe I'm the only person saying this. Yes, she begged to have the kids there. They're her grandkids. She apparently did have other grandchildren over for sleepovers, and they behaved themselves. That's not the issue. Which means, contrary to what most posters here are saying, regardless of her competence, she is entirely competent and able to care for your kids, even if you say as much. But she called you, telling you she couldn't handle your kids, and then she needed you to come and get them, and you refused. Where does it say that bit? What? Where does it say that, like, the other kids came over? Like, I don't think I would let the mother-in-law take care of the kids because she's unwilling to cook or play with the kids. Like, this was a bad thing. This was bad. I agree with this. I think at this point you go and get the kids. Like, that was a bit of an asshole move, because not to the mom, because the mom deserved that. But you go and get the kids, and you explain, like, hey, I don't think we can have them stay over, right? In the future. This is an asshole move because it hurts the children. That's the bit I care about. Honestly, the mother-in-law should have just wiped the floor with the kids and Smash. Yeah, honestly, like, your kids getting too rowdy, come play Smash with me. I'll kick your ass. No food if you don't beat me. I main Kirby. Deal with it, fucking nerd. No items, Fox only. What an alarmingly stupid thing to have happen. Yeah, no, go pick up your kids because you left them with a woman who is unable to take care of them. And then you explain to the family, like, we tried to, like, let them stay at the mother-in-law's place, and she just, like, she couldn't handle them, you know? Hey, Shaddy, how you doing? That reply made up shit. I'm trying to, in this, find where the cousins stay the night, and I'm not seeing that information. I think that's a case of Reddit just making some shit up on the spot in order to prove their point. It's a lot easier to be right when you just make shit up, you know? You know what? I'm going to do the same thing. Not the asshole, because the grandma refused to feed the children until they were able to beat Dark Souls. And because they didn't beat Dark Souls, she got upset, saying your kids are fucking scrubs and have a skill issue. And if they're ever going to get anywhere in this world, they need to learn how to play the game right. And so they've not only cheated themselves, but they've also cheated the game. That's really fucked up, especially where it said exactly those words in here. All right, I'm gonna go piss. I'll be right back. Give me like a minute. I'll be right back. My kids can't my kids can't solo Melania. Like, what the fuck is wrong with your children? They're not able to like God, they have to like summon? God. Fucking loser ass children. What is this? Okay, I need to clarify some things where you're coming from and to accept your judgment. When I asked my mother-in-law what they did, she kept asking for the cousins and not her when they first arrived. I admit that they can be a bit of a handful, and they're well-behaved and they don't act out, especially around her. They kept asking, talking throughout a movie, asking for popcorn and snacks, asking her to play hide and seek after she said she was tired, which I did speak to him about, and they have been grounded for, but otherwise, like, all she said... That's all she said. She refused to specify how they were misbehaving. Secondly, it was my husband's decision to send them over and keep them there. I disliked it, but he told me that his mom usually does this to the other kids, as she'll call the brother-in-law and tell him to come pick up the kids at 12 at night because she wants to wake up in peace and quiet the next day. Her behavior is not new or unique to us, but she still hosts them over more than us because they live across the street. Finally, again, I understand your point and your comment about leaving them overnight, but I see now that I may have slipped and did something wrong. I'll try my best to never do it again. I appreciate each comment and feedback on the situation. Thank you for... Negative 33 Reddits. I put on a movie. It was Silence of the Lambs. I don't know. It's a classic. Why do these kids fucking hate good entertainment? And they want snacks? Do you know how much snacks are at a movie? Especially when I have to make them myself. I have to stand up. I have to go all the way to the kitchen. I have to open the popcorn bag. I have to put one into the microwave, and I have to start it, and then I have to press the popcorn button, and then I have to wait, and then I have to put that in a bowl, and then I have to come back to the living room. Why do they have negative 33 for this? You grounded them for, like, bugging the mother-in-law to, like, she might be an older lady. It might be too much work for her to, like, play hide and seek. That might be a bit much. I had to dig for that reply. Thank you, Glassbrain. This is some stupid-ass shit. This is some stupid-ass shit. Like, especially knowing that, like, she just does this. Like, and it's not even like she said she was wrong, but then like she was like, but actually I'm not kind of energy. You're right, Forever Naughty. Which I mispronounced your name, I'm sorry. She just straight up said that she was wrong. I posted some stuff on Reddit, mostly about Warhammer, and gotten downvoted to hell. And it turns out I'm fucking right. But Reddit will bandwagon. Once you get like a couple downvotes, you'll start going down real fast. Which Warhammer? 40k. I play a lot of 40k. I got some Pink Horrors on my desk right here that I just finished. And a Changecaster. I got the Zinch Start Collecting box, and so I need to get to the Flamers, obviously, before they get nerfed. It'll be January when they get nerfed, so I need to get to a tournament real quick before they go bad. I got some blue stuff, so I'm gonna clone some, because I'm not gonna pay GW that much for Flamers. I'm sorry, fuck off. Stealer? Nope. It's my shit. I bought it. Low-key piracy, yeah. But, here, hold up. The $35 for 3. That's, about $10-ish for each. They're also out of stock. They're going to get nerfed real fucking hard in January, so they're not going to be very good then. I have 3 because I got the Start Collecting box, because it had other shit I wanted. I like these colors too, yeah. But I'm not going to... I'm sorry, no, we're not... I'm not going to pay that much. I'm not going to pay $35. Not again, you know? But yeah, I'm going to go take a piss real quick. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, Vermintide is free on Steam right now, I think. And I forgot to switch the BRB screen. Whoops. Yeah, Vermintide is good. I really want to play Darktide. Really want to play Darktide. I asked Mike if he wanted to. He said no. For whoever asked about how Warhammer is played on the tabletop, it's 5 rounds. A round being I take a turn, you take a turn. And at the end of 5 rounds, whoever scores the most points wins. It plays a bit like an RTS without having to do the unit building. You just show up with like 2,000 points of stuff, similar to like in Magic, where you show up with a 60 card deck. I think Fred plays some Warhammer. He does not, but he's looking into it, and I need to, like, I want to teach him. What's the Warhammer that plays as a Space Marine? That's Warhammer 40k, and there's, like, several different legions you could play as that are Loyalist Space Marines. Dark Tide with Fat Nuts? Yeah, I was thinking that. That, and I really want to show him how to play on Tabletop Sim. Also, anyone who's thinking about playing Warhammer, play it on Tabletop Sim. Like, also, like, use Battlescribe. It's a free app for your phone. All the list building stuff, super easy. And then also, there's this website called Wahapedia. Just real quick bootlegging moment. I play Chaos Space Marines. Word Bearers. I can select whatever legion I want, but I play Word Bearers. And it's like, well, what do Word Bearers do? Well, here's their secondary objective, and here's their legion trait. So it's basically all the rules. It gets updated fairly regularly. GW doesn't want you to know about it, and they have actively tried to shut it down several times. It's hosted somewhere in Russia, and it just never gets taken down. So you use that plus Tabletop Sim. There's a Discord for the Tabletop Sim thing. And you just join that, and you can play a game without having to have spent any money, aside from like $20 or whatever for Tabletop Sim. So, if you're interested in Warhammer, that would be the recommendation I do. Rather than buying the shit. Because like I said, like... Sorry. Little Warhammer rant. I want some Possessed, but I'm gonna clone them. Cool-ass model. Big-ass model. $170. Like, I have a list that uses him on Tabletop Sim, but I don't think I can justify it. You know? It's a good fucking model. It's like almost 1,000 points out of the 2,000 that you're playing. So it's like half your army. But... And it's a big boy, too. Like, it's got to have its own little carrying case. It's like this tall. I really want one. It's a really funny strat you can do with Warhammer. Or with Word Bearers. Hexagrammic Ward. I don't even know what that is. It's just an awesome Chaos unit. Looks cool as shit. You could basically make it invincible in Word Bearers. Or very damn near close. And so you just have some people, like, praying to it and... praising it as it roams around the battlefield, just fucking shit up. It's awesome. Fuck, now I want one. Anyway, why don't we play some bounce SMP? Does that sound good? Come for the Cum Throne would be Slanesh. You're right. Can we do a poll? I find that if we do a poll, usually whatever I'm playing right now wins. Yeah, yes. One more? Okay, let's do one more Am I the Asshole? That seems fair. Am I the asshole for giving my husband the green light to accept my mom's lavish gifts when she gives our children shitty ones? My mother-in-law is a very difficult woman. She has struggled a lot with the transition of her kids having kids, as she only views her family as her husband and kids. It's not like not like the having the grandmother role forced on her. When my oldest was born, I was naive and thought mother-in-law would help out. I learned the hard way. She does not want to do family holidays. She does not want to be alone with her husband. She just wanted to be alone with her husband. I stopped doing family vacations and honestly thought it was because she didn't like me. But she loves her son-in-law and isn't any more interested in their children. I'll admit that this hurt me. I'm pretty harsh on boundaries, but one of the boundaries was that my husband could not accept gifts from my mother-in-law. She'd always just get him a really nice birthday or Christmas cards and get our kids cheap and personal junk. My mother-in-law's gifts were always really to him were always experiences or hobbies related to things as he grew up wealthy, but it does not make the kind of money he grew up with. She feels like he doesn't treat himself enough. 6 years ago, we told mother-in-law that we would no longer be accepting gifts, as that he is a husband and a father first, and that isn't right. Well, my husband has been struggling a lot with depression lately. One of the biggest things is he doesn't feel like he is just a husband and a father, and he lost his identity. He feels like he constantly gives and gets very little back. I hate seeing him like this, so I called my mother-in-law and asked if she wanted to resume giving him gifts, and said I would no longer stand in the way. Well, he had a birthday recently. My mother-in-law gave him something for his hobby, probably about a $10,000 to $12,000 bike, according to the internet, and gave him some gift cards so she could go on the weekend to his favorite trails. I could see how much it meant to him, but I also felt like I made the right decision. But my daughter blew up. She said I was being unfair to her by not lying, by allowing the mother-in-law to flaunt how selfish she is. And that he should stay strong and say there will be no gifts until she can buy gifts for the whole family. She said that she's disappointed in my lack of backbone and disappointed in her dad. I saw my husband's face fall and told him it was okay, and I didn't regret my choice. My daughter was cold for the rest of the night. Last gift my mother-in-law gave her was a tiny makeup palette that she probably picked up online. My daughter is 13. What? Mother-in-law is immature, OP is immature, daughter is entitled, dad is, and I will add to that, Jacko, dad is stuck in the middle of this. Dad is busting his ass and is not feeling appreciated, which is just a whole completely different issue here. Like, I feel bad for the dad, man. Oof. The 13-year-old is entitled. I have never received a gift that cost anywhere in the district of $10,000 to $12,000. That boggles the mind. I cannot comprehend of that kind of money. Like, that's like, there have been some years where that's about as much money as I've made, you know? And that being a gift, I mean, maybe she's just loaded. I don't understand. But it definitely does. I mean, like, the mother-in-law is definitely showing favoritism to her son. I can't fathom that, man. You know, that's a lot of fucking money. And I'm glad he's happy. I thought it was going to say Warhammer for a second there. I was a little concerned. I just watched a Tactical Tortoise video today. It was like, what are the most expensive Warhammer models per dollar per point? And it was like mech guns. And I'm like, I have 18 of them that I kit bashed because I'm not going to spend that much money on them, because I looked up how much they were. I brought it to a tournament and the judges just barely let me squeak in. did real good in the tournament because it turns out they're fucking busted as shit when they were good. I spent probably about $10 to $15 on them. As opposed to the, I want to say they're like $35 for one. They're under like 30 points right now. They're not as good as they used to be, but holy shit. Do they let you use 3D printed shit? Depends on where you are. Do I watch Red Letter Media? I do, yeah. You know, when new ones come out, I'll watch their stuff. If there was one today, I didn't watch it. I don't feel like that OP is an asshole. But also everyone sucks here? What's happened? Does that make sense? I mean, like, I feel like making the concession to, like, let the husband have something that he enjoys is good. They need to, like, talk to the mother-in-law. You know? Like, the wife tried to be a good wife. And she ended up pissing off her daughter. I don't think that she's the asshole for this. I am confused about this situation. This is not good. Like, I understand why the daughter is upset about this. The daughter sucks, the mother-in-law... No, the mother-in-law sucks. The mother-in-law sucks. I mean, considering the kind of gifts that the mother-in-law is throwing out there, like a $10,000 bike, I understand why the OP was like this. I mean, the poor guy wants to be able to have, like, some identity left beyond father. Mother-in-law should give $12,000 worth of therapy. Yeah. This sucks. The mother-in-law sucks. For sure. Okay, let's go down the list. Mother-in-law sucks. Agreed? Yes, yep, definitely. Okay. All right. I'm going to put a line in chat. And I'm going to ask another question. Okay. Daughter sucks? Yes, 50%. Daughter is entitled. Kind of, 50-50. Like, she does feel entitled to get something better than a tiny makeup palette. Which, when your dad is getting a $12,000 bike or whatever, I get. Like, yeah, that does feel like a bit of a discrepancy there. But she's understandably jealous. Yes. I think we can come through. I'm just going to assume that no one thinks that the dad, the husband, is an asshole. This is a first world problem issue. You're right. Okay, last question. Is OP an asshole? Yeah, this is not a thing that people normally deal with. I have no concept of how to deal with this social situation. Chat says no. I kind of think that so as well. They should just talk. I mean, is this a scam call? Yep. Cool, good. Hi. Okay. Let's do some Minecraft. Give me a minute to set up. And then let me know when you hear this. That way I can switch over. Oof. Yeah. Let's find some like thirst trap Minecraft GIF. I need a good one. I need one where we got like a... What a bizarre GIF. I'm using this one. Perfect. What was the GIF you posted the other day? I just searched Minecraft and it came up. I'm gonna add the Discord real quick. At everyone Minecraft. Okay. Yeah, let me show you this GIF real quick. It's not that bad of a GIF. It's just a weird GIF that exists. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm going to restart stream. That's from Amori? Okay.